come in. So today is hopefully the day finish up spinning all this stuff. We'll have to see. I'm not convinced I'll make it, but I want to try. Should probably oil everything first though. Keep forgetting to do that because this is such a long ongoing project. And like for shorter projects, like one bobbin projects, where I'm spinning one bobbin and then plying it onto another bobbin. In those cases, I'll do it every single time. But in this sort of case, I usually forget to. I think that helps things, So let's see. We've got this many left. Hang on. This many left. I guess that's actually not as bad as I thought. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah. I forgot to bring my pain medicine with me to work today, so I'm kind of a mess. But I also really want to get this done. I'm really excited to see the yardage, so trying to get there. Also, I'm really excited for the break where I get to spin on the e-spinner for a little bit. To be entirely honest, I'm kind of considering, depending on how the e-spinner goes and maybe depending on some, I'm kind of considering switching this whole thing to the e-spinner. In some ways it'd be better, in some ways it'd be worse. But I just don't know if my needs can continue. So, as much as I want them to, they just kind of don't do that anymore. So we'll have to see. Either way, there's this. It has to be plied on the wheel is the thing. It cannot be plied on my e-spinner because my e-spinner just doesn't have enough tension to ply things really. I've tried and failed many times. So yeah, I feel like it's possible we might end up having to switch to e-spinner for all the spinning, and then maybe we just ply on the wheel in the future. But it also kind of depends how much yardage we get, because if we get like half the yardage we need, it seems unlikely, but is possible. If that were to be the case, then I could just sort of take a little break and let my knees hopefully heal up and try again in like a week or two. Yeah, I think it all kind of comes down to how much yardage I get and how many more of these I can anticipate needing to do in the future. Even though the e-spinner is by far my least favorite tool. Mostly just because there's less to do on it, which I mean that's kind of the point, right? But I like doing things to a great detriment of myself. So I will keep doing things as much as I can, just because that is how I like to exist. So even though it kind of doesn't let you do very much, it's a lot less destructive to me. So yeah, well, like I said, it depends. I'm also kind of looking into e-spinners, maybe some better e-spinners that would be a little less annoying to work with. Because like there are definite annoyances with my current e-spinner. Like the take-up issue that never goes away is quite annoying. And then there's some random sounds that happen that I really do not enjoy. And also the lack of power, I guess, is not my favorite either. And then where the dial is, the place that you change speed, I don't like that either. I would almost prefer a foot pedal that I just keep up near my hands or something. It's hard to say, but yes, I think I'd be more okay with e-spinning if I had a better one. So I'm kind of incentivized to get a better one so that I destroy my knees less on my shuttle wheel. I mean, they're already destroyed if we're being honest, but they've got a little bit more beating a dead horse left in them. It's really been a day. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna try to not spiral on stream because that'd be really embarrassing. So yeah, try not to do that. But it's not easy. So hopefully, once we've got either this thing fully, like full, I guess, fairly full, or once we've finished all the punis, whichever one happens first. What is happening with this? The, just sort of not keeping tension. Don't really know why. Okay. Yeah, once we either run out of punis or run out of reasonable amount of space, we're pretty much done. And if there are any punis left over, then I think we'll put them on that last bobbin, the other bobbin, to sort of fill that one out a little bit. But I already reeled everything, which was, as always, pretty enjoyable and has made me think, like, wow, we actually have a lot more damage than I would have assumed. Because I was reeling at top speed for a good, like, I don't know, 10 minutes minimum, if not longer. So that's a fuck ton of yarn, to be honest. So yeah, we'll see. I'm excited about that. Also excited to maybe take a bit of a break after this skiing. Simply, my Minecraft is suffering. Minecraft is the only game that I really play just because I have so little time to play games, and that's my favorite one. So that's the one I play. And at the moment, I'm building a several thousand block wide wheat field in a super flat world. Structureless super flat, if you know what that means. And it's very, like, ridiculously enjoyable. I'm literally just like making this beautiful, perfect grid. It makes me so happy. And I built a little Dust Bowl era house inspired by some photography that I saw in the middle of this wheat field. So it's like the most desolate place you could possibly imagine. And I absolutely adore it. And I am constantly losing sleep so that I can work more on my infinite wheat field. Because what else do you do in Minecraft, right? Like, I guess there's other stuff to do, but that's my favorite thing to do. And also kind of like the easiest, best thing to do, for sure. So yeah, I'm super enjoying that world. It's kind of ridiculous how much I enjoy it. I think part of it is like Minecraft is sort of the closest game that comes to replacing reality that I've ever found. And it's not that it's necessarily a good thing that a game can replace reality for you, but on the other hand, when you're in a situation, for example, like mine, where reality is just an endless nightmare, it kind of gets nice. For example, I'm not as disabled in Minecraft. Interestingly, I would say I am still disabled in Minecraft simply because my real life disabilities impact how I play and make it difficult to play. And so, like, if I were to go up against somebody who isn't disabled playing that game, probably the able person would win because I've got limitations in real life that carry over to Minecraft. But that said, there's no wheelchairs in Minecraft, so my character gets to walk no matter what, and I get to create a world that I want to live in, no matter what. I really enjoy. really enjoy. It's kind of better when I have friends to play with, but most of those friends ended up really sucking, so whatever. So yeah. Anyway, this is kind of cutting into my Minecraft time, is what I'm saying. Not that I don't also love spinning. I would say spinning and Minecraft are my two great loves, if I'm being honest here. So this one's important too, but the Minecraft is a little less physically intensive And by a little, I mean, I don't know, I've just been feeling so run down and tired lately. It could be any number of things, so I don't even know what exactly is going on. But very, very tired. But unfortunately, also still very motivated to finish this blanket. Really want this blanket. I especially really want this blanket before summer properly starts. And I feel like I could knit it up that quickly. Like it's going to be knit on very large gauge needles, and typically I just do plain stocking or plain garter stitch. So it goes super fast due to those factors. So I think if I can finish the spinning in a reasonable amount of time, I should also be able to finish the knitting. I am vaguely considering crocheting it, but it would use so much more yarn, and I'm not convinced of the benefits. I've both knit and crocheted blankets before. Crocheted blankets are definitely less stretchy. I'm just not sure if less stretch is what I want or not. I think I'll probably end up doing a couple of little swatches and just see what I like. But the crochet, the fact that it takes more yarn, meaning I need to spin more yarn, is definitely a downside. Spinning is the really difficult and painful part. I think I'm not doing a great job on the long draw today. But part of it is that I'm having a really hard time tensioning this bobbin. I'm not quite sure why. This isn't usually a problem. I actually didn't touch the tension until I started, and it was really messed up. So I'm guessing that might be a heat thing, because it did suddenly get very warm here. But yeah, for whatever reason, it's kind of pulling it out of my hand, which is not what I want. But then if I don't do that, it's just circling the orifice and not actually going in. So I don't know. I don't know quite enough about long draw to not feel super lost. But that's a little better. Okay. I don't know what changed, but I found that with long draw, you do want some aspect of it pulling on you, but just a really, really light amount. If you have to feed it into the orifice while doing long draw, then that does just complicate things. It doesn't do you any favors, really.